This is Gilberto Mora, a 16-year-old wonder kid you've never heard of. But he just became the youngest ever player to win an international trophy. So today, I'm taking over his entire career, turning him into a 99 overall, and trying to win him the Ballon d'Or. So here's Gilberto Mora, a 66 overall center attacking mid. At just 5'6", he has a couple decent playstyles, and I think he's a very similar player to the likes of Pedri. But at just 15 years old, in-game, he's looking absolutely incredible. And I have no doubt in my mind, one day he'll play for the biggest clubs and win the Ballon d'Or one day. And you know what? Even if Mora is playing for one of the worst teams in the Mexican league, it's amazing news for him as just 3 midfield positions, so it means he can get a lot of game time and grow that overall. And the main focus with Mora for the next 2 seasons is to grow his overall, as he said one day he wants to play for Real Madrid. So in this first season, I want to go ahead and improve his shooting so he can score a bunch of goals in this league. So I'm going to give him the Shadow Striker role. And what an amazing first season for Mora. 9 goals, 5 assists, and 46 appearances. But more importantly, is now at a 73 overall, as he went up a +7. And just take a look at his shooting stats, 79 finishing already, as well as 5-star skill moves. And now that he is a top 5 player in his own team, I'm debating on whether we should transfer list him and move him to Europe. But at just a 73 overall, I think we could go one more season here in Mexico before we listen to offers. But sadly, when it comes to team performance, they only finished 16th. Maybe next season, Mora could drag them even higher than that. And maybe he can do that by becoming the top playmaker in the MX. And kicking off season number 2, Mora has already gone up a +1 now out of 74. Staying here one last season is definitely gonna benefit him. And if this season we want him to get the most assists in the league, we definitely need to upgrade that passing. So I'm gonna go ahead and apply the advanced playmaker role so he can feed his strikers like crazy. And what a season Mora has had. 6 goals, 20 assists in only 35 appearances. Now at a 78 overall. I just know the big clubs are ready to come calling. And he has dragged up Tijuana up the table now at 11th place. And not only that, he had the most assists in the league, achieving the goal we wanted for him. But I think it's time for Gilberto to move on, as he is the best player in his team. At a 78 overall, I think it's time to go to Europe. I think it's the only way he'll start winning trophies and one day win the Ballon d'Or. But before we look at transfer offers that come in for him, I think it's time to send Gilberto Mora a couple goals. And first of all, of course, we want him to reach a 99 overall and win a Ballon d'Or. But I also want him to go ahead and get 150 goals and also 310 assists, as those assist numbers will put him in the top 5 assist players of all time. And finally, I want him to go ahead and win 25 trophies, because he's gonna have a long career ahead of him. And the first offer we get is actually incredible. It is Aston Villa. Now, going to the Premier League at 17 years old is risky, but Aston Villa might be the perfect club. And we get another pretty decent offer, and that is a Serie A with Lazio. This is yet again another good offer that I have to think about. And 2 more huge offers have come in for Gilberto, and that is RB Leipzig and Napoli. I think that is all the offers I'm gonna get, so I need to really think where Mora should go next. And the decision has been made. Gilberto Mora is joining Aston Villa in the Premier League. It was between Villa or Lazio, as they both had 1 cam, but might as well just go to the better team and hope that Gilberto Mora does not become a Premier League flop. And it seems like we made the right move, as Gilberto Mora is the only attacking mid in the side. Who knows how many cams Lazio would have had. And that means that Mora will be playing week in and week out in the Premier League. And in terms of development plan, I want to make him the world's best 10 by upgrading his passing and dribbling. So we're gonna go for the classic 10 position, and maybe he can win a trophy here at Aston Villa. And I think his Prem debut season was a great one. 9 goals, 7 assists, and 44 appearances. Now at an 80 overall. I would like to see those assist numbers hit more than 10 though. And Aston Villa did end up finishing in 8th place, so maybe soon he'll be playing in Europe. But the question is, did Gilberto win his first trophy? The FA Cup? No, it goes to Man City. What about the Carabao Cup? And yes, Gilberto Mora has won his first trophy, the Carabao. And now with a trophy to his name, take a look at his stats. One day he's going to be the best number 10 in world football. And now with season number 4, already going up a +1 to an 81 overall. Of course, he's not leaving Aston Villa just yet. I'm gonna go ahead and give him the Shadow Striker development plan, as he is playing in Europe and surely will be a huge part this season. And Mora has his best ever season, 13 goals, 21 assists, and 56 appearances, now at an 84 overall. The question is, did he win the Conference League? In terms of the Premier League, they finished in 4th place, which means Gilberto will be playing Champions League football next season. But what about the rest of the competitions? The FA Cup goes to Chelsea. Can they win the Carabao back-to-back? And no, it's won by Arsenal. But what about the UEFA Conference League? And yes, they have won it. That's Gilberto's 2nd ever trophy. If you guys have enjoyed this video so far, make sure to subscribe. We're trying to get a 500K before 2026. And now in season number 5 at an 84 overall, Gilberto Mora is the 2nd best player in terms of overall at the club. I think this will be his last season at Aston Villa, unless they win the Premier League or Champions League, which is probably not gonna happen, because it's time that he moves to a bigger club if he doesn't and win a huge trophy. And in terms of development plans, I think I'm gonna continue upgrading his passing and we're gonna go back to the advanced playmaker role. And yet again, it's another incredible season. 10 goals, 18 assists, 58 appearances, now at an 86 overall. Surely if we transfer this, we should be going to the likes of Barcelona and Real Madrid. And in the Premier League, they actually finished in 3rd place, so we can stay here. But I want to go ahead and win more trophies. Speaking of trophies, did he win another one this year? The FA Cup goes to Tottenham and the Carabao Cup goes to Aston Villa. He's won his 3rd trophy. But did he somehow win the Champions League? That's the only way he'll stay here at Aston Villa, and no, Barca and PSG will decide it. And kicking off season number 6, he's now at an 87 overall at just 20 years old. I don't think you guys realize how crazy that is. But it's time to transfer list him. Let's see what big clubs come in for him. And immediately we get 2 big offers, one for Juventus and the other one for Arsenal. If I'm staying in the Premier League, I definitely do not want to go to Arsenal, but I wouldn't mind a couple years of domination in the Serie A. We're putting that on hold. And another Premier League club has come in for Mora, and it is Newcastle. I don't want to go to Newcastle either. And our last 2 offers are very interesting. One is Borussia Dortmund. I wish it was Bayern. And the other is Inter Milan. It seems like we're going to the Serie A, but the question is, should we go to Inter or should we go to Juventus? And the decision has been made. We are joining Juventus. Inter Milan are in turmoil. We do not want Gilberto Mora involved in that. This isn't the most exciting transfer, not going to the best team in the world. But with the likes of Kenan Yildiz and Dusan Vlahovic, maybe Gilberto Mora can win Juventus their first Champions League in a very long time. But if things just don't work out, we could just end up transfer listing him in a season or 2 seasons time. And as Gilberto joins Juventus, he is the 3rd best player in the side, only behind Balde and Bradley Barcola. And I'm not gonna lie, this team is way better than I expected. I can see Mora winning a couple Champions Leagues here if he stays here long enough. And as for this season, Gilberto is already world class. So I'm gonna go ahead and put the Shadow Striker just to get up to 99 overall as soon as possible. And it's a pretty good debut season for Mora. 17 goals, 16 assists, 48 appearances. It seems like he picked up some injuries. But there is good news as Gilberto Mora wins the Serie A title. That's his first trophy for Juventus. What about the Coppa Italia? They lost in the final. But what about in the Champions League? They were in it. Did they win? And no, it's Real Madrid or City. As Juventus got knocked out in the playoffs. If Juventus don't get far next season, I will be leaving. But you know what? This squad is growing quite nicely. I wouldn't be surprised if they win the UCL next season. And it is now season number 7, and I'm hoping that Gilberto Mora can win some more trophies and mainly the Champions League. And for the development plan, I'm giving him a classic 10, but basically it's really hard to grow at this rate. And Mora has his best ever season, 15 goals and 30 assists. That's the highest I've ever seen him do at a 91 overall, one of the world's best. And once again, he wins the Serie A, but we already won that last year. Can we win other trophies? He gets his 2nd with the Super Cup. What about the Coppa Italia? He lost in the final last year and he wins it this time. It's a domestic treble. But can he get the full treble? Did he win the Champions League? And no, it's between Liverpool and City as they got knocked out in the semis. And we are now in season number 8 and this team is looking absolutely incredible. However, if Juventus do not win the Champions League this season, I'm getting Mora out of here because he still needs to win a Ballon d'Or and win like 18 more trophies. And if he can't win the Champions League, it's only gonna get harder here at Juventus. And as Gilberto is about to become the best player at the club in terms of development plan, it seems like Shadow Striker will get him to 92 as quickly as possible, so we're running with that. And it's another all-time season for Gilberto. 13 goals, 36 assists, 56 appearances, now at a 93 overall. But the question is, did he win the Champions League? And 3 years in a row, Juventus are Serie A winners, as Gilberto Mora has probably been a huge part. The Super Cup goes to Juventus once again, and now the Coppa Italia also goes to Juventus. 3 trophies so far this season. Did he win the Champions League? And yes, he has beaten Man City 3-2. 4 trophies to his name, including the treble. And yes, Gilberto Mora has done it. He has won his first and only Ballon d'Or I expected from him. But as we're about to go to season 9, he might win many more. And if you want to start your career mode in 2025 with new kits and new transfers, check out Road Kits in the link in the description. And we're now in season number 9, but I'm going to make a controversial decision. I'm going to transfer list Gilberto Mora. However, if I don't get an offer that's better than Juventus, I will stay here this season and maybe try and leave next season. And the first offer that has come in is a really good one. It is Chelsea. Now, I know Juventus just won the Champions League, but Chelsea have a lot of youngsters. So Mora might go back to the Premier League, but let's see if we get get any more. And we get another offer, and once again, it's from the Premier League and Liverpool. This would also be very interesting. But I think now that we're in season 9, Chelsea might be better. And we've received another offer in the Serie A, and it's AC Milan. If we're staying in the Serie A, we're not going to Milan. And I think this might be the final offer we have gotten, and it is from Man City. I think going to City or Chelsea might be the move. I can't lie. I don't think we're staying here at Juventus. And the decision has been made. Gilberto Mora has arrived in London because we have decided to risk it and go to Chelsea. I know Man City have Erling Haaland, and Gilberto Mora can feed him like crazy, but I'm hoping this Chelsea side kept all the youngsters and they're all superstars, and Gilberto Mora can win a bunch of trophies while assisting whoever is playing up top. And as Mora joins Chelsea, he is the best player in the entire team. And as he is getting closer to the 99 overall, for the first time in his career, I'm giving him half winger. Theory was correct. Look at this Chelsea side. Absolutely everyone is in their prime. Gilberto Mora is definitely winning UCLs and Ballon d'Ors at this club. And it's a decent debut Chelsea season for Mora. 9 goals and 30 assists. However, 38 appearances only. I wonder how long he was injured for, unless somebody is taking his spot, but I sincerely don't think so. Now, at a 94 overall, of course. But finally, Gilberto has won the Premier League, making it 12 trophies. What about the FA Cup? It goes to Chelsea. The Carabao Cup also goes to Chelsea. It's a domestic treble. What about the Champions League? Did they win it? And it's a quadruple for Gilberto Mora. He's done that in back-to-back seasons. And of course, due to his injury, Poulsen, the Chelsea striker, wins the Ballon d'Or instead of Mora. But let's go to the end of next season and see if he can win back-to-back Champions Leagues. And oh my days, what an opposite season. 22 goals, 43 assists, but this time made 73 appearances. What even is that, man? He is now at a 96 overall. This is the craziest season I've seen from an attacking midfielder ever. And once again, it's back-to-back league titles for Mora. What about the rest of the trophies? He wins the Community Shield. That makes it 2. The FA Cup makes it 3. The Carabao Cup makes it 4. Oh my days. Can we get like 6 or 7 trophies this season? The International Cup makes it 5. What about the Club World Cup? No, the Tottenham actually won that one. But so far, he's won 5 trophies. Can the UEFA Super Cup make it 6? And yes, it does. But the question is, did he win the Champions League? And yes, he is done. That is 7 trophies. I believe so. And I'm not even surprised to see Mora get his second ever Ballon d'Or. And now that we've arrived to season number 11, as you can see, Mora now has 12 months left in his contract. And that is because he only got a 3-year contract. But guess what? We have accepted an offer. Can you guess from what club? And yes, that club is his dream club, Real Madrid. It seems like Real Madrid couldn't wait much longer. They could have gotten him on a free. But Gilberto Mora is now joining Real Madrid, probably as the best player in the world. With only a couple trophies, assists, and goals to score left, he's going to end his career here at Madrid. And as Mora joins his dream club, he is the best player in this team, even better than the likes of Bellingham, Gonzalo, and Goulet. And this is the incredible side that Gilberto Mora will be playing at Madrid. This could be his last season, as he is close to completing every single challenge. And he has had his best ever season, 15 goals, 52 assists now at a 99 overall. That is completed. And in his first season, he wins the La Liga title. That is 23 trophies. The Supercopa de España was won by Bilbao. The Copa del Rey is run by Real Madrid, which means now he has 24. And if he wins the Champions League, he would have completed his trophy goal, but no, it's between Liverpool and Paris, as Madrid lost in the quarterfinals. That means all he's missing is one more trophy, 31 assists, and 12 goals to complete every single challenge. And it seems like Mora is ending his journey, 51 goals and 33 assists, way more than what he needed. And he wins his last trophy, that is the La Liga. What about the Supercopa? Wins that as well. The Copa del Rey also wins it as well. Did he finally win the Champions League with the club of his dreams? And yes, he has done it against his old team. And he wins his 3rd and final Ballon d'Or. We have played the entire career of Gilberto Mora and made him one of the best of all time. And if you guys did enjoy this video, click on the screen to find out how I made Man City one of the greatest teams of all time, only using new transfers.